welcome to a new video series I'm going to be adding to the channel called Shadows of Brimstone. Basically, I'm going to do playthrough on adventures, trying to get my character up to level 8. I'm sure I'll get knocked out and killed several times, but this will be something new that I'm adding. I just recently had gotten this game as a gift from a friend and kind of fallen in love with it. Now, there's a lot of little things you have to bear with me. My miniatures won't be fully painted, actually barely painted. I just kind of am doing a little bit as I go along. And I'll struggle through the rules because there's a lot of moving parts in this game. But it's a really exciting, fun dungeon crawl. It takes place in a Western-ish kind of universe with some basically otherworldly creatures. So the quick premise of the story is that a long time ago, there was this, in these mines in the town of Brimstone, or close to it, there was this beautiful rare element called darkstone that was found and created, or found, and but the only problem is you can make great things with it with all the properties of the darkstone, but there was a chance that it did things to you. It could either corrupt you and give you some odd mutations, but when you bundled a bunch of it together, it could explode, and eventually Brimstone just blew to bits, as they say. Now, sometime later, you and some of your friends are in another town, and you had heard some of these rumors, but you hear people talking about Darkstone in these mines, and they're interconnected from all these other towns through this Western world, and you go on exploration. And as you go on this exploration, you will find a lot of different things, like portals to other worlds. You will find unusual monsters and beasts in these mines, but you will have objectives to do, and that's what I'm going to do. Starting with this video, I'm going to create my character right here at the end, and just show you what I'll be playing, and then from here on, I will just start doing one quest at a time, or if I feel necessary, if I fail a quest, maybe repeat it. But I will gain experience, gain some loot, gain some money, and try to move up and make my character a little better. Now, I'm soloing this, so it may not be as entertaining, but perhaps sometimes if I have one of my guests come over, I'll have them join me, and they can jump in as an extra player, because I'll be playing the story as my character's story along with other characters if they join me jumping in or out. But anyway, that's what I'm up to. I hope you enjoyed this video series, and we're going to jump right now to my character. All right, welcome to character creation. I'm going to, there's basically 6 steps in this. First of all, you're going to choose your hero, and I got the City of the Ancients, so, you know, I have the choice between a U.S. Marshal, a gunslinger, oh, that's a monster, okay, a bandito, and a saloon girl. Now, the saloon girl actually has a different name on the back. It says piano player. And all the characters have a male and female version, and the stats will be exactly the same on all these. And I won't worry about going over every single little stat and ability, but just my particular one. So there's the U.S. Marshal. If you wanted to pause and look on something, I'll just hold it there just for a second if you wanted to look at it. But I'm actually going to be choosing the last one, which is the bandito, just because I like his hat. Okay, so I could be the bandita if I wanted to, and I'm often known in games to like to play the female character just to, you know, look at that pretty face while I'm playing. But in this one, I feel like I want to be the bandito. So there's all his starting stats. So anyway, that's my character I chose, and I just want to let you know, basically his health is 16, his sanity is 8, his defense versus hits is 4 or higher, and to avoid horror hits, he needs to roll 5 or higher. With his ranged weapons, he needs to roll 5 or higher to hit, and his combat/melee actions he needs to hit with is 4 or higher. And combat just means he rolls 2 dice on the melee. Max grit are little tokens that you get to help your character out, that you can spend them to re-roll dice in a lot of situations. Here's your abilities that you might have to do checks on according to cards. There's agility, cunning, spirit, strength, lore, and luck. And if I have to make a lore check on something, then I'd roll 3 dice. And then on the card, it might say you need to get something that says 4 or higher. But if I don't get it, then maybe something bad will happen, or maybe nothing will happen. My initiative is 3, so this is when I act in a turn versus monsters and other players. And then this is my ability, wild card. I may recover a grit on a move roll of 1 or 2. Normally in the game, when you roll to see how many spaces that you can move, your character can move that turn. If you roll a 1, it's not a good got to move, but you'll get a grit back. But the bandito gets it back on a 1 or a 2. And his starting item is a pistol. And that's basically, he's considered the outlaw. An outlaw, so that will help with certain traits and abilities for later on. So anyway, that's the character I'll be playing. So we chose hero. So now we get our starting gear, which we saw was a pistol. So we go through the starting gear, which I made this little
a box, you can kind of sort of see in another video. I took a bunch of old Magic decks, cut them in half, and then used another game box and kind of staged it. And this works pretty good, you know. So I go to the starting gear. I'm going to grab a pistol. Well, there's one right there. There's two, I guess, because the gunslinger, I believe, starts with one. Range, he can target something 6 squares away, and he can take 2 shots, which means you'll be rolling 2 6-sided dice. It's a one-handed weapon. I guess this is if I buy it or resell it. I'm not sure. This is an upgrade thing, but I won't go into all the details until I actually do an upgrade later on. Let's just go ahead and get the character done. So I chose my hero. I got my starting gear of a pistol. So we'll put that back. And now we'll draw a personal item. So I'll go to the personal item deck. I'm going to shuffle these up just to make it nice and random here. And I will draw, you guys filling this one? Are you filling this one? I don't know. Let's just draw. Let's see. I have a locket. It adds +1 to my spirit and add +1 to all of my catch my breath rolls. Catch your breath is an item after you have a fight with monsters to try to recover, to catch your breath or sanity back. You can roll a D3, which is a D6 and half rounded up, to recover stuff. So that's my personal item that I got. I brought a locket with me. The Bandito has a locket. Okay, and also since it added 1 to my spirit, if I have to make a spirit check, which is 3, I'll actually roll 4 dice instead. So that's how that works. All right, so choose hero, starting gear, draw personal item, and now, we got to choose our upgrade. So you'll grab the upgrade cards, find your hero. Marshall has 3, gunslinger. Where's Bandito? Okay, Bandito, best for last, right? We'll flip over and look at all these here. There's twin guns. You may fire 2 one-handed guns per turn with no penalty for the offhand. See, in this game, you can own extra, and you get an extra starting skill, so you'll actually get a second pistol. I might choose that one. But let's take a look. Normally, if you can use 2 ranged weapons as long as they're one-handed. But the penalty is you can't get crits. Crits is if you roll a 6. Okay, explosive expert. Use 2 grit to gain a dynamite token, and then you also get a dynamite satchel with 2 dynamite tokens, extra starting gear. Ooh, that's interesting too. Dynamite's kind of dangerous. If you miss, there's a chart where it bounces around. Or you can be a swindler. Anytime you draw a loot card, you may discard it and draw a new one. You must keep the second card drawn. You're also +1 combat. Wow, this is a tough one. Boy, I really like shooting, but all these are really good. Okay, you know what? Oh boy, I like the idea of getting treasure on that loot. +1 to combat. That would let me have my combats too, so I'd roll 3 dice for that. But I get to roll 4 dice with pistols, and I don't get penalized for the offhand. But I'm going to go with twin guns. So that also now lets me go back through the starting gear and grab another pistol. So if not, I would just write it down on a piece of paper if there's multiple people here. Since I'm playing a campaign mode, that's a nice thing about it. So now I have 2 pistols as my starting gears. And I got my personal item, the locket. I got my special ability, which is being able, and pistols shoot 2 shots, so you roll 2 dice. So I will get to roll 4 dice now. Now let's see, I got to choose my upgrade, which I did. Oh, side bag token. You get a little side bag next to your character, and this shows that you can carry 5 items, which has a bunch of these little tokens in it. And I started, instead of keeping them on the box, I decided to get one of them little plano things you can get, like either with the fishing kits or automotive or whatever, you build it yourself. You can probably get one in arts and crafts section too. And I'm going to choose, let's see, my sanity's not real good. I might get a tonic. So basically there's about 5 or 6 different kinds. I could get a dynamite if I'm feeling dangerous, and I might just do that. I'm kind of on my own. Should I get a dynamite? Boy, or I could get something to restore my health. I tell you what, let's live risky. My character Bandito sounds like he needs a dynamite, so I'll put a dynamite in my side bag. Okay, so I chose my hero, got all my items, upgrades. The last thing I do, oh, it says you should name your character. Let me take a look at this fella and see what he looks like here. I don't know. I feel like I could go with something fancy or more appropriate, but I'm feeling like a Ralph or something. I don't know. How about I like the mustache, because I have a mustache too. This guy looks gritty. You know what? Out of respect for the good, the bad, and the ugly, I'm going to call him the Ugly. So maybe that'll be his. Maybe his first name will be Ugg, and his last name will be Lee. So maybe I'll call him Lee. Sometimes refer to him as Ugg. I'll say Ugg did this. So Ugg Lee will be this guy's name. And that's my starting character. And hopefully hang in for the other videos. On the next video, I'm going to give a quick walkthrough overview of how the basic mechanics work in the game. And then I'm going to start off the adventure and the mission. Thank you for watching.